Right. Well, speaking of judging,
Oof.
let's hit our last topic and speak
Yeah.
about someone who's widely known for being talkative, too talkative, and judgy.
Okay.
I just said that's what she's widely known for.
This topic stresses me out because I don't view her in that way.
Well, then let's talk about it. Introduce the
Uh,
topic,
Wendy Williams. A documentary was done. I'm sure a lot of people know at this point that a documentary was done of
and it's
Wendy,
out.
and it's out. It came out over the weekend, of Wendy Williams' life now. So originally, just for backstory, originally Wendy Williams was talking about doing a podcast when she lost her talk show. And this documentary was
Mm.
supposed to follow that journey of her starting this
Ah, okay.
podcast.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yes, but I remember when she first spoke about the podcast, the conversation that she was having, I want to say it was with TMZ, but the conversation that she was having with TMZ about the podcast wasn't coherent, if I'm not
Mm.
mistaken. And so it was a little bit confusing because I remember even having a conversation with someone and saying, I don't know if she's in the right
State of mind.
mind to do a podcast. But at the time, there was a lot of talk about her relapsing because she's had a history of addiction.
Right.
And so
Alcoholism, right?
yes. So it seemed like that was maybe what was going on there. I know she had entered rehab because she's done a documentary with Lifetime before where she executive produced.
Oh, I
She
didn't know
told her
that.
life story. Remember, it was like a 2 night or 3 night event where it was a movie about her that Lifetime did, and it was a documentary.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this
Hold
happened.
on one second. Hold on one second.
Mhm.
I'm hearing a little bit of an echo of myself. Are y'all hearing that? If you are, please put it in the chat. If you're not, please put it in the chat. D, are you hearing an echo?
I'm not hearing it.
You're not hearing an echo. Okay. If it's just me hearing it, it's fine. I just want to make sure before we continue, I can always bounce out and come back in, but I didn't want this to continue with an echo. Those watching, please put it in the chat if you're hearing an echo, so we could give you a better listening experience if you are. If it's just me, fuck it. I'll continue. No problem. Give them a second to respond there. Maybe Dre fell asleep watching the bear.
Maybe you
Maybe
did.
he turned us. Maybe he turned us off. Put the bear on. Was like, all right, time for
It's
bed.
time for bed. I guess that means we're good.
I don't know. I just want to make sure because I'm hearing my own echo a bit. So I wanted to make sure
Yeah,
before we kept going because that's part of why we did YouTube Live. Our last episode had a really bad echo. Wise just text me. Hold on. I can't fully read it. Shmeow. No echo. You may just need to lower the volume on your side. Oh, okay, cool. No echo. Thank you, Wise, for the text and the comment. We appreciate you. Okay, so it was you said it was a 2 night event of a movie and then a doc to follow. Please
Yeah,
continue, Wendy Williams.
this was a couple years ago. This was after the breakup with her husband and losing the show and all of that. So
Also, still recent. Oh,
yeah.
look at Onika. Hey,
Hey
girl.
girl. So yeah. So I don't know. In the last few years, a lot has changed in Wendy's
For her,
life.
yes, yes, absolutely.
Um, so you hear things and you've seen her out. She was dating someone, and so you would kind of hear from her every now and again.
Yeah,
But then things I feel like got kind of quiet. And then we hear that this documentary is coming out.
yep.
And when you see the trailer come out, it's not about a podcast Wendy's starting. In fact, Wendy does not look well.
Mm-mm.
Um, it's clear that she's still, at least the way they spliced it, it looks
Thank you,
like
Dre.
she's not, she's been drinking. Because they show somebody asking her, "Did you drink all of this?" It's like a bottle of vodka that's halfway done.
Yeah.
That's in the trailer. Um, I know that her mom passed away in the last few years, so you also see a scene in the trailer where she sees her dad, which she was really close to her parents. If you've ever watched the Wendy Williams show, she was super close to her parents. But she was like, "Hey, Dad, nice to see you again." And I was like, "What is this? Like, what
Mm,
happened?" Like, so I'm bringing all of that up to say I didn't watch the doc. I didn't feel comfortable watching it. I don't judge anybody who did watch it. It just felt a little uncomfortable because she's very clearly going through something. Apparently she's under a guardianship at this point, and her
yep, I
family,
was waiting for that. Yep.
she's not living with her family. She appears to be estranged from a lot of her family.
Yep.
I know that it seems like there's a niece who looks after her, who she's been close to.
And the guardian, the person who's been in charge of her guardianship, is not a relative, right? Because that's what I read.
No, as far as I know, they are
It's like a
not.
court appointed person or something.
Yeah, and Wells Fargo had to get involved with how her finances were being managed. Like, there's just a lot of things in the last week. We found out that she's been diagnosed with dementia, and aphasia. So
And that has been challenged. Because her family, I saw that her family came forward and was like, we never heard of none of that. Where did that come from?
yeah, so
Did y'all see my earlier text about Wendy? Look up.
uh,
Nah, none came through about Wendy.
no. Last comment was about the bear and the echo.
Last thing is the bear and then the echo dray. I'm scrolling up way up and I still don't see that either. Yeah, only play 37 chambers. Nah, didn't come through on our side. But feel free to put it again.
Send it again, please.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is karma and all of that."
Yeah, they're using the term karma retribution. What's the term they're using? Retributric karma or some shit?
I don't know, but like I I hear that, and the reason people are saying that, just for context, is because she was known for telling everybody's business. She made her money off of telling everybody's business.
Yeah.
She was the queen of gossip in New York. I mean,
Hmm.
so I hear that. I get it, but I don't know if I'd wish this on anybody. Um,
No, nobody should wish it on anybody. And further than that, I think an interesting take I heard was from the Joe Budden podcast, the original Gossip Queen. Yeah.
yeah.
An interesting take I heard from the Joe Budden podcast was, and I say it because I got to say the next part, it's going to tell you who it came from anyway.
Mhm.
Joe was up there talking about how the original Shade Room, right? Joe was up there talking about how he, in fact, kind of comes from the school of Wendy, how he learned a lot about Wendy Williams, how his interactions with Wendy have always been the opposite of her public reputation, how it's always been that she embraced him, tried to school him, and Charlemagne comes from that same school. And then I believe I could be wrong about which of his co-hosts said it. So I'll say a co-host said that also today a lot of what podcasting is kind of what Wendy Williams was famous for. So all of that stuff that's like TMZ-esque and kind of the gossip of it all that people run to talk about. Oh man, the rumor is da 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 da. A lot of that came from Wendy, and that's a lot of what podcasting is built on today. Maybe not this podcast. We don't really do the rumor report shit too much, but there's plenty that do. I mean,
Mm,
TMZ has built an empire on it.
they sure
Wendy
have.
Williams has been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia and aphasia, the same neurodegenerative diseases as the actor Bruce Willis has. Yeah, yeah, we know that part. But what I was
I
saying
didn't know it was
is
the same as
it
Bruce
is
Willis.
karma, but still sad. Oof, that's a take.
I mean, I, people do feel that way,
Everyone
and
has said
like I said,
that. What we
I hear
saw on
that.
TV and radio was her celebrity personality, not her real one. Well, Joe Budden and Charlemagne are two people who come from her tutelage, and they are very famous right now for doing very similar things. So I think hearing them speak about it grants us a little bit of a difference. Now, as far as the doc, yeah, that we are seeing her real personality in. There's like a trailer where she's talking really bad to one of her assistants, cursing them out and calling them stupid. Yeah, that's the behind the curtain stuff. We don't really know how people treats people in that aspect. But I that's why I brought up Joe Budden podcast, because it was interesting to hear those pieces of the puzzle that we don't see from behind the scenes. They have special relationships with her. Go ahead, D.
Now, if she has dementia, which is what they're saying, I have not seen her medical records, I don't know. But if she has dementia, there is also an element of that where people are highly agitated,
Mhm.
and it may the way they talk to others may not be the nicest. that
Right.
is that does happen. Again, I didn't see it with my own two eyes. I did not watch the doc. I do not I I'm very torn about whether I should watch it or not.
Okay.
um because I just feel like I don't really want to
See her in that light.
I don't really want to see her that way. I also just I feel, to me it sounds very much like Lifetime. The I shouldn't say Lifetime. The production company went in there and they had a goal when they went in there. They took the cameras in there. When they got there, and they said this, producers confirmed this. When they got there, the situation was very different from what
Okay.
they thought it was going to be.
Okay.
And at some point, they even questioned whether they should continue filming or not. And my
Right.
thing is, if you question whether you should continue filming or not, and you saw that this woman was in such a dire situation, then at some point maybe turn the cameras off.
Right.
I understand the business of it all, but to me it feels a bit unethical. And maybe I'm a hypocrite for saying that, because I, I work in advertising. Like, I I feed the machine. So I totally understand. And we sit here and we talk about these things. So it's not like I don't benefit in some way when things like this happen.
Right.
But this one to me just feels like there's a line, and I don't know. I haven't decided yet if I'm crossing one or not. So my thought process is, when you hear production say that, it's like, well, y'all knew what they're saying. The spin that they're putting on it now is that they're saying that they're trying to shine a light on the fact that she is in this situation, and they feel like uh, she needs help. So maybe that's the case. I don't know.
Mhm.
Have more
Y says
comments.
she's an alcoholic on top of the neurological issues. Her son said her inner circle enables her. Yeah, that makes sense. Lots of people
Mhm.
do. You hear that a lot too on like 600 Pound Life. There are people always like
Yeah.
in your inner circle who are enabling you instead of trying to help you. Onika says it's past drugs and current alcohol use, not karma. And she did in the past what everyone tries to do today. Yeah, the difference with people today, they are not and will never be as successful as she was. I think her family wants the public's help. Dre says alcohol and coke is a hell of a combo.
It is.
Um,
And those and if we're I've recently done some research for other reasons, but I've recently done some research on the long-term effects of addiction, and
mhm.
it can cause dementia.
Yeah, of course.
You mess with substances long enough, and yes, eventually it can turn into something like this. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I just feel weird about it. Like I don't wish that on anyone. I don't want to see, I don't want to see anyone like that, or anyone have to go through that, what your family goes through.
Right.
When you can't remember, and is those are that's not an easy thing to deal with. So
No.
I don't know. I wanted to talk about it because I just feel like it's such a it's such an important topic for a lot of different reasons. One, because I just feel like all the things that you were saying, or that you were saying that Charlemagne and Joe
Joe
Budden were
Budden said.
saying, like
Mhm.
a lot of us wouldn't be here, or a lot of us wouldn't be doing the things that we're doing, or a lot of people wouldn't be successful off of some of the things they've done had she not started that wave, you
Yeah,
know?
she's a pioneer.
She is. And, but also just because, like, I mean, her being as iconic as she is, this is a really sad situation. Like, we don't ever want to see anybody
She
who's
looks
a
like a
part of the
shell of
culture.
herself. It may be tough to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
well,
interesting. Oh, go ahead, finish.
no, go ahead. I lost my train of thought because I too am forgetful. So please, bad
It's
joke,
all good.
but yeah.
Well, a couple things. One, I think that um a couple things are happening simultaneously. I think number one, her family has been trying to figure out what's going on because they seem out of the loop in many instances. And also, the next thing is that has brought to question when did this lifetime contract get signed?
Hmm.
Because if she already was sick, this shouldn't be happening at all.
Hmm.
And there may have been some manipulation there.
Yeah.
Three, in response to Onika saying no one will ever be as successful as she was, I got to say, I disagree. There are tons of people who are doing the same thing, whether we like it or not is a different conversation. But there are a lot of people who do the rumor report and the hot topics and are widely successful. TMZ has built an empire on it, although they do it differently. There are people who are very successful and have made a lot of money,
Hmm.
which leads me to my next topic. There seem to be conflicting things happening here when it comes to her finances. You mentioned that Wells Fargo had to get involved. Also, her family is saying no. Her family's saying something's going on. Where's her money? Because she's got like $40 million. And so those are two very opposite things to hear from these opposing parties. And so there are lots of things that are being questioned along with these documents and reports and rumors. And so I think all of it is interesting, but I think the whole situation is sad. I think it's sad that this person is sick. I think it's sad that they're being exploited by Lifetime. That's my view. Maybe other people have a different view. To me, it seems exploitive. Um, Also, I think it's sad that this icon and legend is being mocked publicly. There are lots of people mocking her. There are lots of people saying she good for you, you deserve it. That's what they're saying, and I think that's really sad. I think what happens is when people reach a certain level of celebrity, as if there's any way that we could paint them as the bad guy or bad gal, the public often does, forgetting that they're still human. Like, although these people may have done bad things that we've seen, nobody's perfect. We all have done bad stuff. I've done bad stuff, and I'm a nobody. So, I think it's always sad that these type of things
Mm.
are kind of the focal point and people want to use them to put the person down. I think we often forget the human aspect of it all. It's
Yeah.
one thing to say, yo, this person sucks, this person's not cool, whatever, but it's like, whatever. We got some more comments here. Y says she may be doing it to cover medical expenses. Okay,
That's
I mean, but then that points back to the whole opposing statements about her finances. So we don't know if you got $40 million, you really don't need much to cover. Dre says it's crazy how the next person just took that time slot. No, that was manipulation and that was very purposefully done. They even started phasing her out with like this Nick Cannon show that ran for a very short amount of time. And when that first started, Nick Cannon said on that show, "Hey, I am not taking Wendy Williams' spot. This is still the Wendy Williams show." And
yeah.
that was also clearly not true. What up, P? I saw your messages, but I couldn't read them because we were on the show. But I did see you text me. Thank you for joining us. Um, Yes, I just think a lot of this is sad. I think very often we forget the humility of it all. Unless you're known as a darling, right? Like we see, even though this is the same thing that Bruce Willis was diagnosed with, this is not the same reception. This is not the same public reaction. Many people, including myself and Dre's Pod Food, Fitness, and Fun, we just showed a lot of love to Bruce Willis because Bruce Willis kind of has like this clean media darling type of thing about him where everybody just loves Bruce Willis. But yeah, Wendy is human and she said and done a lot of things. And I think that that's the stuff people want to focus on. But Wendy's still an older black woman who is sick.
And don't let me get on my soapbox about black ladies. I'm gonna leave it alone. But
Go ahead.
another
Onika
comment,
says, yeah, Onika says, when I say no one will be as successful, I mean she came from radio and did a major crossover to national television and had her production company. Uh-oh, it went away.
which put out content via Lifetime. Yeah,
Ah, thank you.
and I mean she listen, she still has executive producer credit on this doc also.
Okay.
Cause one thing about Wendy is that, and this is why I feel like something went awry, because
Mhm.
because Wendy has always said that she wants to control her story. And the reason why she put out the doc years ago, or a couple,
Mhm.
it wasn't that long ago, but a couple of years ago, was because she wanted to control the story. There was all this stuff coming out about her
Yeah,
husband
about her
cheating on
husband, the
her,
divorce. Yeah, I remember that.
and things that had gone on with her son and all of that, and she wanted to control the story. And so I think that she has tried to keep a handle on that. And maybe at some point, I don't know if she has, I'm assuming she probably has some lucid moments. Maybe, like you said, we don't know exactly when this deal was signed, but maybe at that point, she was prepared to tell her story in a way that she would have been able to control it, right? And that's not really what happened here because of, I mean, the circumstances clearly changed. So
Yeah, no, you're right. Wise says, oh, there's a couple comments here. Can I scroll up? Let me see. Bruce Willis wasn't a darling either. Ask South Jersey folks. That's funny. Hot topics, blind items. She created all of that, and now other shows have taken those topics as those terms as their own. Wendy Williams' family is working to regain control of her money. Wells Fargo froze her money. Wendy can. Oh man, y'all are going in the comments. All right.
okay, yeah,
What else?
you're
Wendy can
seeing
very
comments
much
that
be
I'm not
playing
seeing.
the very best. Oh yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
All right. P says control and deflect. That was in response to you saying she wanted to control the narrative.
Mhm.
Wendy can very much be playing the very best chess game ever, and we may all get checked. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I don't rule it out, but I guess. Uh, P
Now,
says powers.
apparently Wendy took off her wig in public, and I just don't believe that this is. If you know, you know. I do not believe. I do not believe. I love all y'all, and I appreciate all your comments. But I do not believe when Wendy Williams took off her wig in front of cameras, I do not believe she was in her right mind. Okay? I said don't let me get on my black lady soapbox. Okay?
Oh shit.
If you know
Yo,
Wendy Williams, you know that
that's
Wendy
it.
has her outside wig
Oh my
and her
God.
inside wig. Wendy is not taking off her wig on some, hey guys, bring the cameras in. She's not doing it. She's not doing it.
Oh
Mm-mm.
shit.
Nope.
Oh man.
Nope. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. I'm not
Oh
saying.
my
I'm
God.
not saying that. Listen, all of this is, we are theorizing here what's really going on. But one thing I know. Listen. Okay. I have been listening to. My dad was obsessed.
Oh, I'm
My
dying over
dad was
here.
obsessed with Wendy Williams when we
Whew.
were growing up. He loved the Wendy Williams show on the radio. That's how long it's
Hold
been.
on, you saw Dre's comment?
Nah, Dre. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I know what you're saying, and I totally understand it. And I do think she is that brilliant. I do
Oh
believe
my
that she
God.
is that brilliant. But I do not think I do not think she's playing us when it comes to that. That woman would not take off her wig in front of the cameras. Take it off? No. Maybe change into the raggedy one. Yes. But
Oh
take it
my
off
God.
completely? I refuse to believe that.
Oh man. What a show. What a live show.
I
This live shit just took our show to a whole nother
I
level.
know, and this has been our longest episode ever, by the way.
Yeah, it's time to go. We appreciate all of y'all. But
We gotta
we usually
gotta
keep
wrap
this
it up.
under an hour. We are now over an hour.
We are the
Oh my
usual.
God, that was wild. Yeah, the usual suspects, right.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is one big okey doke, and I'm willing to admit it when we find out that that's true. But yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Onika
when it.
says Wendy has always been self-conscious of her thin hair. Dre says Wells Fargo took my 40, so I'll make a new 40.
All
That's
right,
the
Dre.
Kanye thought process. That's what Kanye be saying too.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, I don't see her taking off her wig in front of the cameras
Oh
like
my
that. And
God.
honestly, that will probably be the reason. Out of respect, I'm just probably not gonna watch it because I don't want to see her take off her wig. She don't want me to see her
That
like
would
that.
be the greatest prank ever. I mean, it
Oh,
ain't a prank.
absolutely.
It's more. It's. I mean, yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
mean, it's
she
possible
can
she's
never
trying to
come back
stick
from
up.
that. Oh, go ahead.
I
I'm sorry.
mean, I don't agree with she can never come back from it, but yeah,
Yeah.
people. I think there's a lot of possibilities. My thing is the focal point for me is more that this is a sad situation and people keep kind of like kicking her while she's down. But
Yeah.
listen, I will say, I'm cool with it. If, ooh, paragraph, true. And we also know that was when she may have been, I hate to say control, because wig, that money, what? Wig, then money lost, then PR says she was worse off, and her niece and wait,
Then
wait,
her
wait.
niece and father said, "I believe that she was given something."
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Listen, I was gonna say I will gladly come up here and say I was wrong if Wendy Williams come and say, "Psych, I fooled you."
Agree. I will. Listen. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Right.
So
I will gladly come up here and
I
say, "Hey,
will.
y'all were right and I was wrong."
But at this
Gladly.
juncture, I cannot because I don't want to be wrong about this. She
I
says,
don't
"Who's
know who
Josh?" I'm just
Keyblade is, but Keyblade says you're.
Jedi mind trick. That's Josh.
What up,
I
Josh?
was
Oh, our
reading.
great correspondent is here. Man, you missed it, Josh. You got to go back and watch it. We were shitting on Drake about 40 minutes ago. You got to go back and watch it. I'm sorry, Josh, but we were shitting on Drake
I'm pretty sure
just
that's
about
Josh.
40 minutes ago. If Keyblade 321 is Josh, you got to go back
I'm pretty
and
sure.
check us out. We were shitting on your boy Drake for about 40 minutes ago. Yeah, listen, we'll see what happens, but I wish Wendy Williams well. And I wish that she does not take her wig off again in public so Dash don't have to do that again because I almost died a second ago.
You
It
see,
was
I'm
almost over for me.
uncomfortable. I'm like moving around my seat.
Yeah, it was wild.